Hey everyone and welcome back, hope you are doing alright. Today we will go into something a little bit different and more complex than the previous videos, the Devil's Tree, dubbed mangrove trees for most. I will go into detail as to why I call it this later. I mainly made this video to show that yes, I can do a little more than show a turtle's love life. I also made this as I have not seen many other people try to automate this farm, likely because no one in their right mind wants to mess with demons such as a propagule. As for the farm, it is clocked at 10 game ticks, or 1/2 of a second, to try to push a grown tree and runs at 7 MSPT provided performance mods such as lithium and sodium. This farm has not been tested on spigot or paper engines, and is directional as it can only face north or south. It is safe from being banned as it can run in 1.19 while chat reporting is effective in 1.19.1. Farm yields 40.5 thousand mangrove logs and 30,000 mangrove roots per hour. This farm also produces moss carpets, which can be composted into 200 bone meal per hour and extra propagules which are recycled back to the player. I added emphasis on farming mangrove roots as they are the only block that can be waterlogged, powered, and unable to suffocate mobs. They can optionally be composted by flipping this lever, supplying up to at least 40% of the farm's bone meal consumption. Mangrove propagules can be produced independently from the farm. I added a small setup that produces extra propagules when the storage is low. Also note these command blocks are only to refill these chests with bone meal. It is not advised to unload this farm while it is running. A reset detector is added to turn off the farm in case of such an event. Check to make sure all the blocks are all in place with the provided Lightmatic, and push the button to reset. Before we continue on, I just want to say that this is one of the longer and more detailed videos I have made so far, so if you like this style or have any suggestions for future videos, let me know with a like or a comment. This segment will explain how mangrove trees grow, why I call this the Devil's Tree, note you should too, and why it is a deterrent to those who don't smoke enough Minecraft leaves. For the naive and weak-minded, you may skip to a later chapter. There are two reasons this tree stands out compared to the other 1x1 overworld trees. Let's start with the clearance space required. All overworld trees have an area that must be void of any blocks that are not leaves, logs or strip logs of any kind. Here I visualize the area for all overworld tree types. Any non-logs present in the red zones will not allow the tree to grow. Any non-logs in the orange zones force the tree to grow below the block. Oak, birch, jungle, and azalea trees all follow a 3x3 rule, while spruce and acacia follow a 5x5 rule. Oak is special as it will try to grow around any non-logs found in the yellow zone, meaning you can force taller trees to grow with this zone. This gold block represents the block most tree farms use to limit the height of oak trees. And this is what mangrove trees look like. They share a 5x5 rule like spruce and acacia, but they share the same growing mechanics like oak, giving it a yellow zone. On top of that, they also require at least one block in all 4 cardinal directions in the brown zone in order to grow the supporting roots. The height of the tree is somewhat dependent on how wide the platform is. The wider the platform, the more likely a taller tree will grow, with the tallest trunk being up to 22 blocks tall. The farthest roots can grow as up to 8 blocks. The supporting blocks needed do not have to make sense, they just need to not be air or mud, as the root try to grow through both and does not see either as support blocks. Mangrove trees also generate branches in all 4 directions, up to 5 blocks out. All branches are angled at 45 degrees. The tree can grow in midair, leaving an air gap where the propagule is planted, making traditional detection with comparators reading dispensers futile. But if they grow short enough, this space can become a root, meaning you can't ignore this area when moving out the logs. So, we have a tall, unreliable tree with branches that needs a large platform to even exist and can grow midair. What a start. Now onto the dessert, yummy. In Minecraft, oak and birch can generate bee nests if they grow nearby a flower that bees can pollinate. Guess which tree also inherited this property? This may not sound bad, but you then realize that propagules themselves are tagged as flowers that bees can pollinate. Meaning that no matter what you do, there will always be a chance for a bee nest to generate. This is a problem as bee nests cannot be moved and actually block tree growth as they do not count as logs. Now oak and birch trees can grow bee nests in 4 spots, technically 3 spots which I will explain later. Since mangrove trees also generate branches, if a bee nest tries to generate in a branch, it will actually offset itself by 1 block, meaning there are 12 spaces for a bee nest to generate, 8 of which are rare but still possible that we need to prevent from generating, making this tree a little devil to automatically harvest. So how do we take on this demon? We just simply need to be high enough to work around the attacks of the tree. This is one layer of the piston layout used in the tree farm. The tree's 5x5 rule is obeyed by leaving only the roots, leaves and logs inside the 5x5 area. Every 10 game ticks, or half a second, double piston extenders are fired to try to push out any generated logs and branches. There is no detection used, it is just clocked to try to push out a tree. Pistons on both sides harvest branches and extra roots. All the blocks are pushed outwards, clearing the cross-section for more tree blocks to generate. The tree is bone mealed in the window. These piston extenders are fully retracted and the required space is cleared. We also prevent bee nests from generating in this layout. Remember when I said oak and birch trees technically have 3 spaces for bee nests to generate? That's because all generated bee nests face south, and the trunk of the tree would block the entrance of the bee nest generated in the north direction. Since bee nests are the last block to be placed when generating a tree, any bee nests in the north direction would be blocked by the trunk, effectively making 3 spaces instead of 4. In the layout, we occupy these 5 spaces with 4 roots and this output line. These generate in this gap and are not broken, blocking 4 extra spaces. All sides of this block are blocked off, preventing this bee nest from generating as it has no place where the bees can exit the hive. As I said in the beginning of the video, this farm can only face north or south. This is to prevent these 2 bee nests from generating by blocking the entrance. This is then stacked up vertically until we reach the trunk's maximum height. At the top is the 10-game tick clock with delay for each component. Walls are used to instantly transmit signal downwards by changing the shape of the wall, which is detected to power all the pistons to fire at the same time. At the bottom where you plant the tree is a mine cart you can get in embedded in the dirt and on 8 snow layers to manipulate the exit position. This second cart is to help you leave the farm when you are done. The propagule is surrounded by 3 dispensers, and 1 piston on the side to pull out any potential root block. This trapdoor blocks any roots from generating on top of the second trapdoor, which would slow down the player planting propagules by 1 cycle. A dropper will dispense you another propagule every cycle. Any excess drops into this water stream, down to the collection, filtered out, and brought back up. This is because extra moss carpet and sticks from the farm can clip through the pistons and end up in here as well. The tree is grown and then pushed out into a giant wall that needs to get broken. This stone brick platform is to widen the root platform mentioned earlier, to help grow larger trees. We harvest 7 rows of roots as 8 long roots are rather rare. The 8th line is blocked with signs, but the platform block is still present to encourage the tree to grow taller. The collection consists of 10 TNT modules. The TNT is stuffed inside of cobblestone and bridged outwards to explode the blocks. It is timed so that the TNT explodes as the bridge is moving because all moving blocks have a blast resistance of 0. The reason for all of this is because TNT stuffed inside of blocks will deal less damage to item entities. Instead of being one-shot by open TNT, items can tank 5 blasts with this method, making it more likely for the item to reach the bottom and be collected, all while having the same blast range as normal. This mechanic was found and first implemented by嘟了個嘟嚕, or Beep, the BiliBili. Video is linked in the description. This farm uses 10 of these with each side spaced out by 40 game ticks, or 2 seconds, and offset vertically to keep the wall of logs relatively smooth, reducing the chance of items getting stuck on it. It also can help blow up any leftover cobblestone in case one somehow gets stuck. Note these are the most likely to break in the event of a crash or you unload the farm while it is running. The simple explanation is that the sticky pistons fail to do their job and these pistons can be in the wrong place. Before you hit the reset button, it is important to check this area to make sure all blocks are in the correct position. Some leftover propagules, sticks and moss carpets will get caught in the blocks and rise to the top. This water stream at the top moves them off and into collection. All items end up in this collection to be sorted. Propagules are sorted first as it's closest to the collection. Since we used cobblestone as a bridge for the TNT, we also sorted out and obtained about 46,000 per hour. So this is a cobblestone farm. Shut up. The rest is up to you. I haven't messed with it too much so there can be a chance it is unreliable. As for improvements of the farm, there are a few ways. For one, collection can still potentially be done better, however I've wasted more time than I anticipated setting it up. I wanted this video out like 4 days ago. As for the layout itself, unless a new layout comes to light, I'm not sure if pushing out the logs can be done faster, as the fastest I believe these double piston extenders can go is 9 game ticks, with a 1 game tick window for bone mealing the propagule. However, I am just estimating while writing this out, so someone prove me wrong. There will be a world download in the description. It includes the farm, 1 TNT module, some testing setups I did with the Mangrove's yellow zone mentioned earlier, the tree zone shown, and even the hand in the thumbnail. This video took longer than expected, although I had the pistons set up back in early April, but getting the collection and finishing touches figured out took longer than anticipated. I hope those who made it here enjoyed the video. Thank you for the support and have a nice day. Bye.